Produced by Malik.
What's going on, world? Welcome back to Malik's Water Garden. It's day 2 of the ick outbreak. We're actually treating this tank right now, and if you haven't seen yesterday's video, I'll put the link to that up here, or like I guess up here, or up here somewhere, and up here anywhere somewhere around here. So check that out because this is what I'm dealing with right now. Now it's about 86 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 30 degrees Celsius in this room right now. That's the actual ambient room temperature. I brought it up so that all my tanks are actually warmer than where I like to keep them by a couple of degrees, just to make sure that if there have been any transference of ick, that the other fish are not going to actually have an outbreak. I don't think I actually have transferred the ick except for this tank. I don't actually see an outbreak in any of the other tanks, which is great. I haven't actually been doing any maintenance or water changes in the last little bit because of the previous ick outbreak. So because of that, I actually did manage to not transfer the ick. And also because I have been at home and I've been paying close attention to this tank, I did catch the issue before it was too late. Actively, there's only 2 fish that have somewhat of an outbreak in this tank, and one of them is actually doing a lot better than yesterday. The other one, I believe it's hiding in the back right now. It's a little bit covered still, but it is showing a lot of visible signs of improvement from yesterday to today. A lot of the fry are also showing a lot of visible signs of improvement, although there are some that are a little bit covered. Now we will be looking at this in the upcoming days and weeks, so highly recommend subscribing down below and hit that notification icon so you get updated when that video as well as many other videos like this get uploaded. Today is going to be an update video on what's coming up in 2021. Now it's a little hot in here, so I'm sweating, so I kindly apologize if you do see me sweating. It's because it's really hot, and I don't even like spending a lot of time in here right now because of how hot it is, and it's been a hot day outside as well, so it's quite difficult to sit in here with the shirt on. But so having said that, for 2021 I do have a lot of plans, and we'll be looking at some of that in this video. I'll give you some of the teasers and trailers. If you haven't checked out the video about the Ultim Angels, I'll put a link to that up here. I guess it's gonna come up right there at this point. Check that out. We're getting some new Ultims, so stay tuned for that. The Pseudohemira napatanos video also, it's a really good video. Link up here. Check that out as well. So those are the fish that I just got to spawn for 2021. I'm also getting 2 new species of fish. Well, one of the species is already in the fish room, but I'm getting a new group, wildcard group. I'm getting a group of 134 leopard frog flakos, Picoltia compacta, and so there's going to be 6 of those guys, as well as L262 Hypancestus species. It's a spotted Hypancestus, and they're really gorgeous, and they're really, you know, they say stay small, but a lot of times when the literature says that, I'm a little skeptical because I have a friend who has one of these, or who had one of these, that grew up to about 4 or 5 inches. So like whatever the literature says, I'm gonna go by that for now, but things could change as I keep the fish long term. So stay tuned for those updates as well, because we will be studying those on in a detailed basis, and there's not a lot of information available online on those fish, so it's a really good opportunity for myself as well as you guys to learn about these rare fish. Now aside from that, I'm converting 12 of my breeding tanks on the other side. So my fry grow out rack that I grow out angelfish fry throughout the summer, I'm converting all 12 of those tanks basically into Corydoras breeding tanks. I have so many different species of rare expensive Corydoras. I have CW027, a group of 10 or 8. I have these 045s, a group of 10. I have CW089. It's actually, if you go to Scott Cat, it's my pictures now. That's one of the pictures that's on the site for the fish. I also have a group of C0123, the yellow cats. I have 10 of those guys. I have 10 Corydoras Saichii luminous, so C52. I also have a group of C96. I lost 3 of those guys, so I have 7 left, and they are doing better now. I did treat them, so we'll be looking at that in an upcoming video. I'll make a detailed update on the Cory rack in the coming days. I don't want to spend a lot of time in here. It's quite warm, so I'm really quickly just making this update for you guys. I'll put some B-roll pictures of some of these fish for you to see what they look like. Also, I have a Corydoras loretiensis. Those guys are really beautiful. I forgot the C number, but they're a described species, and they're quite rare and quite stunning. A lot of these fish are quite rare and quite stunning, and they are not regularly available, especially the Corydoras loretiensis, the C52 Saichii luminous, Saichiri luminous, and also the C96. not available. C123 not usually available, as well as a C89 also not usually commonly available. I also have a Corydorus duplicarius group, I think about 8 or 9, and I have another group of Corydorus C010 gold laser Corydorus, and I think I have like maybe 20 or 25 adults of those guys. So I mean, they've been spawning for me, but I have been neglecting them this whole year throughout the summer quite a bit because I've been focusing on these other fish. But through the winter months, I'm going to be setting up that whole setup for those guys. I mean, I'm still going to be keeping some angelfish, but I'm getting rid of most of my large angels except for the big pair. My veil-tail super reds breeding pair is going to stay, but I'm selling the rest of my angelfish as well as all my other breeding discus so that I can make space for these Corydorus breeding projects. So these are what's coming up in 2021, as well as a lot of other rare plecos. There's going to be these 10 pleco tanks here, plus 2 more pleco tanks I'm setting up in the room for them, as well as a tank outside. So all these are coming up for you guys in 2021, as well as a lot of videos on how to take care of all these different fish that I have. Basic care maintenance videos as well as breeding maintenance. A new zebra pleco breeding video is going to come out either tomorrow or Sunday. Now that video is going to cover basically what to do to lower your TDS. The last 2 videos, if you haven't checked out, I'll put the entire playlist here, zebra pleco playlist, so you can check out the playlist and get yourself familiarized with what's going on up to this point, so that the next step really makes sense. The reason I did it this way is that I really want to make sure that you guys don't make a mistake and kill your fish by accident. So that's why I really want to prepare you guys over the last few weeks and months to get to this point where now you do understand what you're doing to a large extent, and you've actually had time to maybe purchase a pH meter if you didn't have one, a TDS meter if you didn't have one, figure out a way to get RO or rainwater. So we'll be looking at all of that in the next video either tomorrow or Sunday, so stay tuned for that and subscribe down below. This video will be featuring Dr. Thomas as well as a few other prominent zebra pleco breeders, so it's going to be a wealth of knowledge for you guys that you don't want to miss. Aside from that, I'm also going to be making another video about how to buy a zebra pleco properly, where to buy it, and how to look for the right signs, as well as what breeders could be doing to your fish to slow its growth just for whatever reason. This is at the behest of Dr. Thomas actually, and I really believe that a lot of this information needs to be out there because a lot of people don't understand, and a lot of people think that when they buy a large fish they're always getting a better deal, and they're always not. Most of the time when you're buying a large fish, it's always a male or fish that's past breeding, or it's not breeding for whatever reason. It's usually a male if you're buying a 2.5 or 3 inch fish. Nobody sells 2.5 inch females, okay? Like, there's no reason for them to do that, because it's like, why would you do that? It's the goose that lays the golden eggs. Why would anybody with their right mind sell you the goose that lays their golden eggs? It doesn't happen. So don't expect to go buy a large adult female. There are people that might sell you a pair or a group after they've spawned them for a few years and they've gotten tired of those fish, or that they believe the fish are too old for them now and they want to just keep some of the fry. So you might be able to get that, but in that time you're actually putting yourself into a little bit of a conundrum where you might get fish that are a little too old, and that might be at the end of their life cycle or whatever, especially if they've been collected from the wild before 2004 or whatnot. So really pay attention to that. Your best bet is to get young fish. So we'll be looking at that in detail in the next video coming up. So those 2 videos are coming up in the next couple of days, and on Monday an update on these guys will be coming out on how they're doing throughout the ick outbreak, and that will be about 4 to 5 days of time that passed. So I would have time to monitor, and I'll also update on you guys on how many fish that do die, or that if I don't actually lose any fish, which is most likely the case right now, it looks like, I'll let you know that as well. So the good news will be coming on Monday, so stay tuned for that, and subscribe down below if you haven't, because a lot of cool stuff is coming your way. So I'm gonna be here. My dog is pregnant, and she's gonna have puppies in the next 6 weeks. I'll make an updated video. I'll be doing the delivery at home, so stay tuned for that. If you haven't checked out the dog breeding video, I highly recommend checking that out. And comment below and let me know if you guys have any questions or suggestions, or if there's any particular types of plecos or Corydorus that you want me to make videos on, especially the ones I have here, as well as some of the new ones that I might be getting. And if you have requests on getting some of the fish that I don't have in the fish room, I can actually get information on them, because a lot of my friends do breed a lot of these fish, and if I don't have them, I can actually find out for you and make a video on specific species, especially the smaller types like the L280s and stuff like that. I know a few people that have those, so whatever. Also, Jason got a new order of fish, so they're all on Kijiji. I'll put the link to that at some point down below, I guess. So Jason's Facebook is Jason Tor on Facebook. I'll put his thing down below so you guys can find him, or go on Kijiji and look up his ad. It's a really extensive ad, and I'll have a new ad on Kijiji in the next couple of days as well for all the fish that I'll have for sale in the coming days. So stay tuned for that, and come and buy some of my fish from me if you are in the Greater Toronto area. Thank you so much for your love and support. I'll see you on the next video. God bless you all.